Hello and welcome back to the Honest Lab Horror Show, the show that we bring to you each and every Friday night. For my guests here, I'm going to tell you why we do this on a Friday night, because Friday night is horror night. So that's why we throw this show out on a Friday night at 10 o'clock, just as a little tribute to that for any of the horror fans that were over here. And then obviously the show took off. So as you can see, we have a host of guests tonight. It is the cast and crew of the Deadly Endings movie that is upcoming from director Richard Harlow there in the corner. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Now, what I'm going to do is, all because I know you're the director, that's the reason you got the title.
Yeah, you already called it.
Uh,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah,
so,
also
uh,
the writer and the producer and is Doug knows the frequent bag of ice getter sometimes if there's time in the day
Yes,
permitting.
and the
never
Yeah.
forget the
someone
ice.
needs
Never
someone
Yeah,
forget the
you,
ice.
you can never have too much ice on set.
Um, but what I'll do is I'll just run around the group here, and you can introduce what you do on set before we get into it. Um, so we have Doug Perfido. How are you, sir?
Yes, yes, sir. Thank you for
Did I,
having me.
did I get it right?
You got it right. First
God
try.
damn, I'm good.
Yes, you are.
We have Robert Kennedy. How are you, sir?
Very good. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Good, good.
Thanks for taking time out of your day to come on as well.
Oh, yeah.
Um, we have Dennis Manning. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Thank you for inviting me on it. It's exciting.
Absolutely. We love having guests on. And as I said to you off screen, this is the second cast and crew of a movie that we had. Obviously, I had three with Elsie Holt, um, Daniel John Carney, who you know quite well, and Cheney on for Watchdog
Watch go.
a while
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we had all the lovely females from the Black Mass, from Devaney Pinn's Black Mass a while back. So it's always fun to have a cast and crew on. We have Ronald Black. How are you, sir?
I'm very well. Thank you for having me on. Great to be
Absolutely,
here.
you're most welcome. And we have the token female of the group. Unfortunately, she's left to herself. Sarah Sweeney, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, thanks for taking the time out of your day to come on, guys and ladies. Um, but sure, we might as well jump straight into it then. Richard, where did the idea for this come from?
Uh, I actually had like the concepts just kind of came to me over time where like I would have like the idea. So I would kind of like jot down just like the basics, like story or something. And a few of them I wrote, like there's a segment, it's a anthology. So there's three different segments. One of them with a vampire segment. Sorry for the noise, the street racing going on outside, but
That's all right.
um, so like I originally was going to do kind of just like a series based on vampires where every story was like a different kind of vampire story in a vampire type universe. And I was going to name it Damned Nation. And but I had like the one story that I really, really liked. I wrote like four others that are sitting there. So when I came up with the idea to do like an anthology, I pulled one of those, in which was my favorite one. And then the other ideas were just kind of like little concepts that I didn't necessarily want to write into a feature, and just pulled them in as well. But I've always liked anthologies and shorts and stuff, like from Creep Show and Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Dark Side, Twilight Zone, you name it. I've just been a fan. I like what they were able to do in such a short amount of time was just like amazing.
I mean, if you're talking about anthologies in terms of movies and you don't mention the likes of Creepshow and stuff, you just I don't think it counts. Your point
Yeah,
becomes
yeah,
invalid,
yeah. Because
especially if
I
you're
was
talking
like
horror.
I was pretty like young and impressionable like when those came out. I mean, I think the fact that I was exposed to those at like an early age, like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and stuff like that. I mean, if I had watched them now, I'd probably enjoy them, but I don't know that it would have molded me into doing what I do now. Like, so it came at the right time, for me in my life to absorb it and actually help mold me.
Absolutely, I find that as well. There's a lot of like 70s and 80s horrors that people absolutely adore, but like if you watch them now, like they don't age well,
Yeah,
and people
and
still go
I
on that
think
they're classics.
yeah, I think like with me, I don't know how it is. I mean, I'd be curious to see how it if it's the same with you guys. But like, you know, there's like some people, you know, in Hollywood and stuff that I talk to that I wasn't necessarily starstruck, you know, by, but the ones that were, even though they're not as high up the list, if they were somebody that I watched as a kid, I'm like, whoa, like,
Yeah.
like I just talked to someone's, you know, like for instance, you know, I think it was in the early '90s or mid '90s, maybe when the Jerky Boys movie came out,
Yeah. Yeah.
and when I did, you know, like I talked to like, you know, like Emilio Rivera and stuff like as an actor, like what's the other actor there, like Lou Diamond Phillips and stuff like that. And it didn't really like do anything. But like on the Jerky Boys, there was the guy that played Brett Weir, right? James Lawrence. So him on set was the one I kind of gravitated to, and I'm like, wow, this is like from my childhood, like this guy, like you know, so there was like a wow factor, but I don't like typically by talking to anyone else. Like if I talked to Dwayne the Rock Johnson, I wouldn't even give a crap, you know. But if it
Yeah.
was like somebody that in a movie that was amazing to me is like 10 or 11, that little 10 or 11 year old kind of comes to the surface, and I'm like, wow, like you know, mesmerized, you know.
There
And I
is,
think that
I
that's what's
fully
great
under,
about movies.
I fully understand that feeling as well. Like some of my favorite movies are from the '80s, um, and like you could meet any kind of thing. We were at a premiere. My missus got us invited to a premiere of Harold and the Purple Crayon. Obviously, it's not a horror film, but
Hmm.
the young Irish actress that was in Abigail was at it,
Uh,
and I was like, I can't think of her name now. She was in Matilda as well, but I was like, oh, okay. But you put me in a room with like '80s actors that could be behind the mask, and I'd be like, yes.
yeah.
Now it didn't help that your one's only about 13 or 14, so I wasn't gonna go and pester her, but
Right.
um, yeah, but like you put me in, like I went over to a horror con there, and they had a lot of the '80s actors and stuff at it last year, and I was like, yes, absolutely yes. And then you had Quinn Lord, who was Sam from Trick or Treat and stuff from the early
Mhm.
2000s. I was like, yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Don't need new actors. I'll take the older ones, and I'm happy it
Yeah.
is.
Same here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um, Doug, how did you get involved in this project?
I got involved with this through Felissa Rose.
The
Um,
legend,
yeah, yeah,
the queen.
yeah. I was with Felissa at her 40th anniversary of Sleepaway Camp. They were
I
showing.
seen that actually. I seen pictures there. I don't know whether it was yourself or herself that put them up.
Yeah, that was at Kevin Smith's theater, Smod Castle Cinemas in New Jersey. So I was there with Felissa, and as soon as the show was over, Dan Kearney was there,
What a
and
man!
they started talking about this project, and Felissa said, "Oh my God, I have a role that would just be perfect for you." And here's Rich's number, and I contacted Rich, and we talked, and yeah, it was a perfect fit, really. So that's how I got involved, pretty much through Felissa. Yeah,
Fate finds a way, or life
yeah,
finds a way.
yep, yeah,
Yeah,
good times.
yeah, and good experience on set. Or was Richard a bit of a?
Oh, he's the worst. I mean, it's not even on set. I talk to him 5 times a day, every single day.
Yeah. Yeah. I blow up his phone. Like,
No, this was a group that was really tight, and honestly, it was one of those bittersweet things where when you wrap, because myself and Sarah were filming together on the first day, and I actually got there 2 days early, and me and Rich did a lot of the running around setting up for the shoot. So I got a good 3 days in there, but then when we wrapped, it was pretty sad to leave, you know, because they were
I,
just getting started,
I've heard that from the set of a few different films. Obviously, I don't know if any of you have seen the back catalogue. I have a lot of the back catalogue of Mutilator 2 cast, and
Yeah, yeah,
nearly every single person that said that to me, it was just perfect group. And then when it was over, it's just like, oh,
yeah.
it's
It's
over.
it, yeah. It went fast.
So like I've said that on the show a lot of times about horror. Like it seems to be the closest group of actors and actresses when they're making the films, and they always stay in kind of contact. And then it's also the closest group of fans. Like you could make a terrible horror movie, and people will accept it for being good because you don't take it too seriously. But
Yeah,
you could make a serious horror movie, and people will love it because you're taking it seriously. Like
yeah,
Yeah,
as
I
long
think
as you
like
don't try and force an idea, it's
a horror movie is good both ways. Like if it's really corny, there's still a market for
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Where it's like a comedy that's not funny, no one that's gonna just disappear. Like nobody's gonna give it any thought. But like a sci-fi movie that doesn't, isn't good, it's not gonna go anywhere. But like with a horror, you have such a ways to go for it to not be noticed. And that's I think that a beautiful thing, and that shows like a real strong fan base.
oh yeah, and like as you said there, mentioned sci-fi. Like I always maintain like if you look at sci-fi, you tend to either gravitate towards Star Wars or Star Trek, and there's
Mm-hmm.
no kind of gap
Right.
between them.
yeah.
Where horror you can love Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
Now you'll always have your favorite, and one of our co-hosts, Ted, will love your background there, Doug. He nailed himself to the Scream mask quite quickly.
that actually Ghostface is that belongs to Leonora Shelfo, who played the cheerleader in the original Scream.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, she was in Watchmen, and Watchmen,
The
Woodman.
Woodman.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm the executive producer of that movie. I'm the one who
yeah,
brought her into that movie. Yeah,
nice,
yeah.
nice.
So that's hers, and you know what the best part is? I got to lug it around every time she comes to town. I have to pack it up and bring it with me. It's one
Nice.
of her shows. Yeah,
Um, yeah, no, but like as it says, horror fans are probably the best group of movie fans that you're gonna get. Um, Robert, how did you end up involved in this one?
Uh, it seems like the same way everybody else is. Dan Kearney reached out to me. I know Dan from several films. Felissa also messaged me about it, and I think I spoke to Richard and Jeff a couple of times. It just a lot of contact from the contacts I've made doing stuff in the indie film industry.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind actually. Just before we came on, Jeff, obviously you can't be here tonight. Sent me a message to say that you were coming on instead, and you actually popped up as someone I might know on Facebook. And there's a picture of you and Felissa, and I was like, motherfuckers, everyone knows her.
Yeah, she's pretty well known for sure. And
Yeah,
she remembers almost everybody. I think
yeah.
crazy.
But no, she seems like a lovely person. But it's great to hear, as you says, there's more close knit groups that are getting from one movie to another, or contact to contact,
yeah.
and passing people's names around.
Well, it's funny. Ironically enough, I actually killed Robert in the movie previously.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Yeah. So
absolutely.
You didn't do a good enough job. He's sitting there beside you.
what is
Yeah.
he do? What's he
I'm
doing here? Yeah.
resilient at times. It seems to be my thing. Somebody kills me in every movie. Just about.
Yeah.
I bounce back.
That's the right way to go, though. If I was an actor, I'd love to be killed off in every movie. I'd definitely do a Sean Bean and just be killed in every single movie ever.
It's fun getting bloody. Believe me, it's hard to get off, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, see, I don't think I'd be able to do that because I'm real weird. Like, I don't like stuff on my hands or something. I hate feeling like sunblock and stuff on my hands, so wouldn't be able to do the fake blood.
Yeah.
You don't want to die in a movie then,
No, no.
because you're coded.
I'm sure if you did it once or twice, it wouldn't bother me, but yeah, not for me. I leave the acting to people that can act. I'll stay here. Dennis, how did you end up involved?
Well, I'm sure you can guess who I talked to. Dan.
Me.
Yeah, actually, so Dan reached out to me. I want to say it was around November, December last year. We just did Watchdog together.
Great movie, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. We had a lot of fun on that. And I told him I want to get in front of the camera a little bit more than behind the camera. So he gave me 2 movies, one being Deadly Endings, and I was going to play Jerry. I believe it was the package, is what it was, the segment. But unfortunately, I had to back out of that due to prior commitments of another movie. And I wanted to stay on because I really enjoy the anthology aspect because I love anthologies like Richard's naming off all the ones that he grew up with. I mean, that's what I grew up with. And I just formed my production company, and I wanted to help out as much as I can. And Jeff and Richard reached out to me and wrote them a nice check to finish this movie. So I became a producer.
No better way to come in.
Yeah,
You
right.
know?
Hey guys, we need Dennis. It's great to meet you. We need money. So now,
Exactly.
nah, they're a lot cooler about it. No, so yeah, and I wanted to still be involved somehow because I really dug this script. And the guy that they got to replace me to play Jerry, I really enjoyed working with him on another project. And I really was happy to see that he was able to jump into this one because I'm like, dude, this is a great story. You got to get involved. So
Nice, nice. Well, like, it's sad when you see people like I've become quite friendly with a lot of actors and actresses, obviously since picking up guests on the show, and I've seen people saying, "Yeah, we're in this movie," and then they're pulling out, and they're like, "Unfortunately, we can't do it due to other things or shootings changed," and I'm like, "Oh Jesus!" Then you're like, "Do I still follow the movie or do I just follow the person?"
Yeah, that happened a
But
few times. We had actually like a few scheduling conflicts. Like just that's one of the things on pulling this together is that there's so many people, not just the cast, but like the crew and locations, everything has to line up. And there was a few that were not able to commit to the project, because of a scheduling conflict, and I feel though although the movie would have been different, obviously with different actors and different deliveries and whatnot, we did get to fill in on all aspects, like just shined, like couldn't ask for a better crew. Um, we had a few, and actually like Sarah, you kind of filled in, I think what, like a week, 2 weeks,
Yeah.
right before filming. She
Yeah, it
was
was
kind
quick.
of like a
Yeah.
last minute addition, and filled in, and then but Skyla beat you because I think she had 1 week notice. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
why
Hmm.
but
take her
luckily
credit away?
everyone did their part.
Yeah.
Taking her credit away, giving her just because someone else came in a week later. She showed up
Yeah,
on the
well,
podcast.
dude,
The other
one
girl didn't.
week. Yeah, but well, the thing is that the one it was a little bit nerve wracking because the one that did come in like a week in advance was Skylar Ward, and I think she was, what is she, like 11 years old or something like that, and
Mhm.
she was in pretty much the whole segment, almost
Mhm.
every day of the 5 day filming of her segment. She was there, and she did good, and they're represented by the same agency, Sarah and,
Mhm.
and Skylar. That's how I get them both.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wish I could have paid like 2 for 1, stuff, but
Buy one get one half price.
yeah, like buy one get one free, exactly.
Ronald, how did you become involved in the project?
It's funny because Doug put me onto it. I was just talking to Doug at a con one time, and he's like, I got some friends, they're doing a movie, you should think about it. So I checked out the Indiegogo, and I saw some things that I liked. So I got a DVD, a Blu-ray, and I was talking to Doug. I said, I think I might want to try working out on the set. And he's like, dude, you should definitely, if you want to do it, let me know and I'll talk to some people and we'll get something arranged. So I called them up. I said, yeah, I'm in. I'm definitely going to pull a trigger on this Indiegogo thing and get the 5 day internship. So I guess he called Jeff or Dan, and next thing you know, he's called me back saying Dan wants to talk to you. So Dan's like, yeah, no, yeah, come on up. We'll hook you up. And then I was nervous as hell because I've never been on a set like this with all the people that were there. And once I got there, it was the people there were so great. Like Richard was like one of the first people I got to, Richard and Dan, and it was incredible. And It's like I was there as a key PA and transportation, but I did whatever they asked me to do, and it was one of the best experiences I ever had. I mean, those guys were great. I was there for 5 days and I didn't want to leave. I asked Dan if I could stay longer. He's like, stay as long as you want. But I unfortunately had to go to work, so
I had to go to real work.
yeah, right.
Acting
But
life
like I said,
only
it was a
acting
real
life
great
only works
experience.
for
Like
so
I
long.
said, I only got the one. Like I said, out of the three, like you've got guys from each of the segments here, and I was on set for the whole time for the one more shot, and it was incredible. It was some of the best footage I've seen shot, and the story is great. Richard did a great job of writing it.
Thank you.
I mean, I can't wait to see the actual movie itself. When it does drop. Unfortunately, I have a feeling it won't make it here quite as early as it gets released in the States because we don't get that in Ireland, and it's awful over here for indie films. Awful.
We have to wait for it to get on that one channel.
Yeah, that one channel. Yeah, it's called the interweb.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. No, unfortunately, the Sky Horror and stuff over here don't really play a whole lot of indie movies. We were lucky. We were lucky enough that we got Terrifier 2. So
Well, I
that
know
was
the UK area. I'm not sure if Ireland got it, but Tubi just launched over there in about a
Oh,
couple of
that's
weeks
right.
ago,
yeah. We
and you'll
didn't get
find
it.
a lot of independent horror movies on that
Yeah.
service.
Yeah, unfortunately, we still haven't got it in Ireland. It's the same like Amazon Prime in the UK and Amazon Prime here are two different things. Like, there's a lot of indie people that I know that are saying, "Oh, our movie's on Amazon Prime in the UK," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not in the UK, unfortunately." Well, not unfortunately. I
Man,
wouldn't
that
want to be part of
market
the
is
UK, but
open, guys. If we go over there with our movie, maybe we get it in everywhere. You know, it sounds
Yeah.
like an
yeah,
open market, pretty much.
absolutely. And then Sarah, how did you end up involved in here with
Through
this
my
crazy gang?
agency. They reached out to me and then I got connected with Richard and yeah, so I was part of the side effects segment. I filmed for a day and it was a lot of fun. It was a great experience.
Nice. First role.
What was that?
Was it your first role?
First
Yeah, it
roll.
was my what is that?
Your first role, right? No, well, you
Oh,
did something else,
Sorry,
right?
sorry.
Well,
This
you
was
did
my
something
first.
else, but it didn't get released yet. I think it was,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. This
Yeah.
is my first horror film. I did a couple things for Lifetime, but they're not released yet. But this is my first horror film. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, my mother-in-law might know who you are then.
Yeah.
She watched all those Lifetime movies. Fuck me. Yeah. Um, I think I've seen one in my life.
Mhm.
But like horror seems to be the way to get going. Really, when you look at a lot of major stars have come through the
Mhm.
horror ranks early in their career. Like people shit on horror all the time, and you're like, yeah, well, look at the people that have come from horror:
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
George Clooney, Jennifer Aniston, like Matt Damon, or
Yep.
yeah, Matt Damon, Leonardo DiCaprio, people like that.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. You always forget about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Josh Hartnett's another one that's done quite a few. Do you know what I mean?
Kevin
Like, there's a lot of
Bacon,
Kevin Bacon was involved in
the
the
original
one scene
Friday the 13th.
that actually terrified me when I was younger. I seen that far too young, and you know the scene where the thing comes up through his neck.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
arrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? It's like
Yeah.
the very first horror film I seen was Nightmare on Elm Street when I was like 11. Didn't really phase me, and I blame my parents on that. They were like, "There's only 3 movies you're not allowed to watch ever." One of them was Evil Dead.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was The Exorcist, and the other was Nightmare on Elm Street. And of
Mm.
course, Nightmare on Elm Street was on at 10 o'clock one night. My man and dad were in bed, and I snuck down the stairs, and there it was in all its
Nice.
glory.
Nice.
And the infamous scene, you know, when he's in the alleyway like this
Yeah.
with the
Oh yeah,
arms.
with the long arms. Yeah.
That's like my favorite scene in any movie.
And Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
Johnny Depp.
well, that was a Johnny Depp
Think it-
that wasn't as proficient at acting as he is now.
No.
No,
I
but like you said, it
Jennifer Aniston started
seems
off
like
in-
everybody starts in horror.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, although he went on to be a megastar, really, didn't he?
Yep.
Forget it.
Uh, and I mean to say, like he kind of hung around horror for a little while, so it wasn't too bad. Some people just disappear from it, like George Clooney. You probably never see him again. Killer
Of
Clown or
course.
what was it? Attack of the Giant Tomatoes or Killer Tomatoes.
Oh
Go
yeah.
tomatoes.
Uh, I don't know. It's great. I was rewatching Critters there, the franchise, and I forgot Leo was in it, and I was like, yeah, look,
Yeah, happy out. Yeah.
yeah, he's in 3, yeah. But that's enough about everyone else. So, um, what way are we looking this movie? When are we expecting a release or?
We're looking, spring or early summer. Already it's being edited. There's, we're still trying to figure out like how we're gonna go about the score, and the music and stuff like that. Who we want to do it, whether we want to attach like a name or somebody that just can get the job done. I mean, like it's just such a crucial thing to have, to marry just perfect music with the horror. So we don't want to just kind of throw in, any old thing. So, but pretty much by spring, I would say like we'll have it rocking. We're looking to do a premiere in April. I'm in talks with a theater that has about I think it's 22 theaters in their chain in putting in the buyers in there to see if they want to kind of take it on and get hit the ground running,
Nice.
so that it'll help us with distribution and everything else.
That's impressive. Like that's obviously a big franchise chain, or big enough anyway.
They're pretty good. They're pretty much like considered like a luxury cinema. Like they're just very very well put together. With like a chandelier out in the lobby and stuff like that. Like a they do show a lot of regular movies that are out right now. I'm sure they're showing the Deadpool Wolverine movie and stuff like that. But they had an interest in ours. I don't know exactly how they came about it, but one of the representatives reached out to me, and I've been talking with them, for the last couple of weeks here, trying to get something together. Just boils down to when
Money.
it gets all done, when it's all edited and ready to go.
But I mean, like there you take a chance sending it to the cinema, right? And as I mentioned, Terrifier 2 was given a chance
Hmm.
to go to the cinema, and it ran against Halloween. Do you know what I mean?
And,
Like
yeah.
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 that was a crazy
Yeah, I
move
mean it's a
from
chance, but it's a worse chance to not put
Yeah.
it
not taking.
anywhere.
That's right.
No, but
You
that's
know
what
what
I
I
mean.
mean?
Like I thought
We're making it to
thought
be
it was
seen. You know,
I thought it was a crazy move from the producers to put it against Halloween, because obviously
right?
Halloween
But
was
that
going to be
Halloween was
huge.
getting a lot of bad reviews, so it kind of
Yeah,
worked out. It actually like a bad review for one is like a good review
yeah,
for the other. So
and like
they
it only
they came out
benefited.
that. Oh yeah, they definitely did. They
Mm,
Yeah.
definitely did.
So going to a cinema, it's going to be worth a chance. You know what I mean? Like I've seen some terrible films in the cinema, Passion of the Christ, things like that. I've seen them in the cinema and they were just meh. Do you know what I mean? So I take a chance. I'll go and see anything in the cinema, and especially if I obviously having done this with yourselves, if it made it to a cinema over here, I definitely go and see it. Do you know what I mean? I
Yeah, I
tend
mean
to
the
watch
thing is
any kind of
if it
guest I
does well
have.
enough, it should garner the attention of the other cinemas. Hopefully the more majors. And if it doesn't, it's going to go into streaming or or somewhere where it was going to go anyway. So
Yeah,
I think it's a real good thing that could like I said, we could hit the ground running, and at the very least, we just end up where we were going to head initially. So it's worth
I
the
mean,
shot.
like you're gonna fail with every chance you don't take.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So let me ask you then, Doug. I'll ask the rest of you as well. How weird would it be to see yourself up on the big screen?
Um, I'm actually going to see myself on the big screen in about 2 weeks.
Oh,
Part of a movie called Stream that's
Oh,
coming out.
the David Howard Thornton one.
Huh?
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
David
he's in
Howard
it.
Thornton one.
Yeah, the one the Terrifier guys made.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I did a little cameo in that. So
Oh shit.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah, that'll be pretty cool. You know.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
but I'm looking
we did
forward to that.
try. we did try to line up David before Terrifier 2 came out, but once that came out, then it was game over. He was just too busy.
Yeah,
Uh,
tell me about
that looks stream looks very good though. I seen a couple of things online about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's
Todd's in it too.
yeah, Rob's in it.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
Yep.
Jesus, we're
yeah.
all in
Another
it.
little cameo here or there.
Here,
Absolutely.
there, splattered on the wall somewhere.
I wish.
Uh,
I think I make it for once.
oh,
Yeah.
spoiler alert.
Yeah. Blinking,
it was
you'll miss me in this.
I mean, the Levy brothers and the Fuzz on the Lens guys are top notch. They're just down to earth, the best guys you could ever want to meet. Really, they're phenomenal.
Okay, so that kind of ruled my question out then. But how weird is it going to be then going to see yourself on the big screen then for that movie?
Oh, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. I really can't wait. I think the lighting is beautiful, which you could tell from the teaser trailer. You know, that
The
looks
trailer looked fantastic. It
doesn't
didn't look
great?
like an indie movie.
Yeah. And just I could speak for our segment. Everybody got along great. I mean, it was just cheers, phenomenal hugs when everybody was done. And it just came out from what Rich is saying. It looks great. And like Sarah, really, I want to thank Sarah because Sarah came in and was prepared and on the mark, and just couldn't ask for anybody better. And that was Rich. Yeah, just
So, do you want me to read out what the rest of the cast said about you then, Doug? All the bad stuff.
Yeah.
Well, mine's a
I
carryover
won.
from our last movie together.
yeah, really.
And Robert, what about yourself? How would you feel to see yourself up on the big screen, or have you already been there?
I've been there once on a film I did called Macabre Mountain. I hosted a showing in my hometown for family and friends.
Nice.
And,
That's the one with Ashley Ray in it.
Yeah, Felissa Rose,
Yeah.
Elsie Holt.
So Ashley actually
fun.
sent me a signed DVD of it a while back, and it literally got returned to her the other day. She sent me a message to be like, that DVD I sent you got returned to me, so I'm going to send it to you again.
Bogus. Yeah, it's a fun film. She's killer in that film. I believe it was her first film, and after my showing, she was somebody that all my family, friends, and just horror fans raved about her performance.
Nice.
They raved about mine too, but like I said, friends and family.
Wait. Fuck's sake, Robert, what are you doing?
Yeah,
don't go
that's
in there.
Probably what they were thinking. Well, I must have been not too awful because some of those people would have certainly enjoyed giving it to me if I was horrible. So hopefully not the worst.
Joe, what? It could have been an Oscar-winning performance, and I'd have given it to you anyway.
Sweet.
I'm that kind of person.
Some of my friends and family too. I figure if my daughters didn't kill me, nobody would. You know, if they were
apart
okay,
from Doug,
I was okay.
Doug must have done a good job then.
Yeah, and on Deadly Endings, I think my scenes are some of the first scenes in the movie, but ironically, my scenes were filmed, I want to say maybe second or third last. Before wrap. So I got to spend one day with everyone who was there, and I had a blast. I know so many of the folks from other films, and I think you're going to like this one. I think everybody's going to like it. I've always wanted to do an anthology, and this is my first one. I have another one lined up later this year, but I just try to diversify and getting a chance to play a priest. I've never played a priest, so just surprised I didn't go up in flames when I got in costume, but had a good time. It was fun.
Do you know what? I can picture you like, do you remember Little Nicky when Reese Ives is standing in the church?
Absolutely.
What about yourself, Dennis? How is it going to feel to see something up on the big screen?
So I've actually sort of done that. When we had
Every
Watchdog,
question.
yeah. So yeah, when we did Watchdog, I mean that was only through a festival, but my buddy is the GM of one of the major theaters here in St. Louis. So I
Right.
asked him that night to, hey, can we just put this on the screen? Just let me watch it, and he was okay with that. And I mean, I was nervous at first, but whenever I saw it, I'm like, damn, did I really sound like that? But I mean, after that, it was really exciting. And it just made me want to continue doing these things. And I know a lot of actors are like, oh, I can't watch myself on TV. I'm like, shit, no, I can see it. Let me see myself. But the next movie I'm working on, I'm gonna have a bigger role in Grind. We're hoping to get that one in
That's Mark.
theaters.
Mark Cantu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mark's a good lad.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we're going to start shooting that here in Pittsburgh in a couple weeks, and I'll have a bigger role in that. So we're going to try getting that one in theaters. So seeing myself on the big screen, or I know we maybe want to try pitching this to Netflix and having people stream it. And I'm really excited. This thing, I'm super excited about it.
Nice. Nice. Well, what about yourself?
Oh wow, like I'll just be happy to be if you get a glimpse of me. I did a couple of extra scenes with background people, so if that happens, it happens. I'm more excited to see what I was part of when the actual making of, like all the whole how the scenes were set up and how the final product came out. Because all you see is bits and pieces as they're making it. Like it's all out of order. And like I said, watching it on the screen from when they're shooting it to when they actually put it all together, I'm excited to see what it looks like. Very
It'd be
excited to
like
see what it looks like.
it'd be like that Facebook meme, where you see Matthew McConaughey in is it Outer Space where he's real happy and then he starts crying,
Right?
or Interstellar. Yeah,
Interstellar,
Right.
yeah.
yeah. Be like that standing there. What about yourself, Sarah? Obviously, you said you had a couple of Lifetime ones, but they haven't been
Mhm.
out yet. So
Yeah, so this would be my first. Yeah, so that'd be really exciting. So cool to see everything all come together. I had a really cool scene. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
you get yourself a nice little red carpet entrance.
Right.
Definitely.
That's the right way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I know how tough it is being on the indie scene, trying to make it into the likes of the cinemas and stuff. Obviously, having spoken to quite a few directors and stuff, and the struggles they have to try and get them into cinemas. So to hear that someone has come to you, Richard, it's you must be doing something right.
Well, trying. you know, uh, it's you got to be a pretty decent salesman, to kind of convince them in that it's going to be something. There's a lot of crew, a lot of the actors and actresses. We all believe in the project. It's just kind of opening the eyes to other people. I know he did watch the trailer today and text me back that it looked amazing. So that's another step in the right direction. And all I can do is just do my diligence, in putting it in front of whoever I can, and bring awareness about the project, and get it seen.
Are you going to try and get it into festivals or?
um I'm not a big, I mean, unless I got totally vetoed by everybody and tied up and stuff. I just, it's so hard to know which festival is kind of rigged and everything. And I've heard inside information as to certain festivals, and then you're kind of known for not winning in a festival, as opposed to, like, what, like if you place sixth or whatever, you don't even know if there's so many submissions and so many people just using festivals to try to, and it serves its purpose, but they want to kind of jump and be like, boom, here I am. I was first or second and I got a deal now and stuff like that. But you don't even know if it's getting viewed, like honestly, like there's no kind of protective oversight or way for you to see, who's seeing it, who's voting on it. Did the guy have a bad day and say, yeah, I don't even want to watch this or whatever? I just rather put that workload, the money and the effort and everything else into, like I said, just being a salesman for it and pitching it and and putting it everywhere that I can, instead of going there and because actually when you do that, you can't even do anything with your project until the festival's over. So if
Yeah,
it went into a
it's a long
festival
festival run,
and
isn't
it's
it?
waiting, yeah, I can't even stream it. If someone said, "Hey, we want to stream this," and put it up and give you distribution, I got to wait for the festival to be over. I could miss a good
Yeah.
opportunity. So I'd rather just not. It's my own personal take. Other people that do it, I'm fine with it. I'm not going to try to convince them of it or whatever, but that this is my belief, on it that, it just doesn't serve me and what I'm
Back,
trying to do.
back yourself.
Yeah,
That's simple as that. Back yourself to get yourself the best deal.
Mhm.
exactly.
I mean, like I've seen quite a few indie projects coming through, and the last while, obviously becoming friends on Facebook and stuff with a lot of directors and actors and stuff. Um, there's been three or four, apart from the Mutilator, which was just going to be the number one that I wanted to see because Mutilator One is one of my favorite films ever. Um, but this is a name that's kept coming up. Um, Bunker Heights was another one, obviously with Cheney Morrow again. Um, Watchdog I knew through LC, which was a major one. Late Checkout was another one, obviously Felissa and Dan again. Um, and then like there's been
And
a
me.
few, but oh yeah, you're in there as well, Rob.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you mention
Little at the
Felicity, it
end.
seems like
Little at the end.
a little bit, yeah.
everyone's got their own part to play.
Yeah.
But there's the same sort of names that are popping up time and time again on the indie scene that people are going big on. Um, and The Boy from Below was the other one. Um,
All of us again. There we go.
Jeez,
And
jeez, Mr. Kennedy.
We're here.
That's
do you remember at the start of this?
We follow each other
Remember,
around.
remember at the start of this, Robert said he was retired. I'm beginning to
Yeah.
think he was a liar.
well, I'm retired from the postal service, not from movies.
yeah.
But yeah,
Me
as I
and
said,
Rob that's the one me and Rob had a lot of fun on.
Yeah.
as it says, I'm obviously in Ireland here, so like I'm only finding things out off the Facebook page and stuff. But these are the names of the projects that are still coming up, still going strong.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm sitting here waiting, going, I wonder when they're coming out. And then I'd reach out to somebody, or in this case, Dan told me to reach out. He says, "Would you be interested?" And I says, "Of course I will." He says, "Obviously, I haven't done a couple of shows with Dan." He's like, "Any chance you could have them on?" Yeah, absolutely. Just let me know when it'll suit everybody, and now here we are. He told me to get on to Jeff, and then Jeff set everything up with you. Obviously, he's had an old WhatsApp group or something going.
Yeah, yeah,
But
we
like,
have the group chat.
yeah, if it's anything like my group chat, it's chaos. It may may it never get leaked ever. But like I'm watching these indie projects coming along, and I'm looking more forward to some of them than I am to some of the big name horrors that are coming out this year.
Yep.
Uh,
100%.
Yeah,
and
exactly. Yes, I'm right there with you.
I mean, like as it says, Terrifier 2 came out and blew. Like I don't even know if you can count it as an indie movie anymore because it's now going to be a major one. Um, but obviously 2 was kind of an indie movie. And I'm looking at it going, yeah, perfect, exactly what you wanted, because you wouldn't get that if you got a Hollywood movie. And I mean, the indie scene has become immense for amazing movies. Like
Mm-hmm.
a friend of mine, Sean Robinson, done one. I don't know whether any of you have seen the movie. It's called Life of Bell.
Mm-mm.
Not yet, but I
No,
will.
No.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll send it on to you. It's an hour and 7 minutes long. He made it at home himself. It's one of the best indie movies I've ever seen. Like I have it rated at the fifth best movie I've seen this year.
Wow.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, like
Look
if you go
forward
through
to it.
my, it's a horror film, yeah. But if you go through my, like we have a different podcast and we have a list where we rate all the 2024 movies or 25 movies or whatever. Um, and like you go through my one from last year, there was like 81 movies that I watched that were released last year, and it's at least 50 of them were indie movies. And some of the lads were like, "Where are you finding these movies?" And it's like, "Director, send them to me to watch." Of course, I'm gonna watch them. Do you know what I mean? Whether they're good or not, someone takes the time and want me to watch them, I'll watch them for them. So
sometimes that creativity comes out of necessity. You know, when you're making an indie movie, you have no choice but to be at your best. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
And you
Just
you
even
don't get 200 or 300 retakes at it.
yeah, even working on these films, just like with viewing them, it's the same thing. Just like Sarah, I'm part of a casting agency out here in Philadelphia, and this year I've done a couple of Hollywood things, and
Mhm.
and they're cool and they're great and it's an experience, but you're not really involved. Where in an indie film, you're part of everything that goes on. So
Yeah.
way different.
Well, that's where I found a lot of people were saying, obviously, the cast are closer, probably because there's probably a tenth of the cast there, maybe even less. So these are all more friendly. You walk along, you'll know everybody. Everyone's talking to everybody. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
So
there's
that,
not
that
like that top-notch person that has to go run to their trailer and then or something. Everyone's like,
The egos are not
yeah,
there, which is
loitering
great.
around right in the same spot.
Robert, I'm looking at you for that.
Unless I'm in your
Yeah,
next picture, then we'll
he
talk.
made me get his
Even if it's
coffee.
a small RV.
Well, I mean, if I was there, they made you get my coffee too. Mm. I'm a guest on this set. Get my coffee.
Chop chop.
Yeah.
I mean, into like
Yeah.
a big thing, you walk into holding and you check in, and then you're just a number. What's your name? Doug. Oh, you're number 19. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
kind of like, unless you're the star, but
I mean, like, to
it's
say that you were
cool.
in a Hollywood film is great, but yeah, being more involved in an indie project is far
Yeah,
more
it's just
rewarding.
more rewarding. Yeah, way more rewarding.
Like, okay, it mightn't be as good financially, but definitely more rewarding in terms of work you're doing.
Yeah.
Um,
Have unique
Richard,
experiences. On one film, I was like a day as Bai Ling's personal assistant. Another movie, I was Eileen Dietz's personal assistant.
from The
Instead of
Exorcist,
sitting in a room, yeah, Eileen, yeah, they were
nice.
both on a film with me called Desert Fiends. And the days I wasn't filming, I was each of their personal assistant. I drove by home from a movie, from the set in California, taking people to the airport. I mean, it's fun. You do whatever you can do, whatever you're
Yeah,
asked
to
to
get
do,
it done.
whatever's needed.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. If you want me to go to Walmart and get some snacks and water, let me know and I'll go get it.
Yeah,
There you
I
go.
It's a
actually had to
team.
That's
drive
the
it.
attitude. That's the
Yeah,
attitude.
Yeah,
it's a
I'd,
team. It's
I'd
a
like some
family.
get it done.
sweets.
Yeah.
I'd
that?
like some sweets from Walmart.
Okay. It's going to take me a little bit to get there, but
Yeah.
send me a list.
Yeah. Certainly will. Yeah, I do love American sweets. Um, I don't know. But like as I says, to get in there and just get your hands in, much more rewarding rather than being, yeah, you stand in that corner and just don't look at the camera. Okay.
Yeah,
Like, great.
absolutely.
I got to be in Mission Impossible 10. Okay.
Yeah.
What did you do? I'm the guy there standing on the corner.
Right.
Yeah.
With my
I don't
back
even
to
think
the
that
camera.
counts. Yeah. Could be fucking anybody. Richard, have
Yeah,
you have an Indiegogo at the minute going? Do you want to tell the
yeah.
folks about that?
Yeah, like right now we have, since we're done filming, we have a lot of the amazing perks on there now. A lot of the screen used items that are all bloodied up, props and wardrobe. And, I think we have Felicia's fangs that she had in her mouth there, so just like a ton of things, like that, and is we just kind of gear, towards getting the finishing touches done. The music, as I said earlier, and just making it as polished as possible, so that it's enjoyable for everybody.
Can we buy Doug?
Yep.
I already put in I already put in the purchase order.
Don't turn your back on him, though.
Yeah.
I do have a bloody hat somewhere. I think Rich
Yeah,
might
I
have.
know. I got it. Like right here. Like everything's like literally like right here, like right next
Yeah.
to me.
There's bloody props.
So, yeah, the shirt that Santiago, had, and actually since this is like kind of like yeah, I can bust this out now.
Uh,
Remember that this was like a no-no, like fake brick of
oh yeah,
cocaine.
What is it? Oh,
Yeah, signed.
big
fake,
kilo.
We have
fake,
one
fake,
signed by Santiago Cirillo, myself, and Ruben Rosado, which who
fake
played the
Colombian
brother
Bam
of
Bam.
Santiago in the segment. Yeah, we couldn't really put those on IGG for fear of getting banned, taken down,
Well, I mean,
sting
like,
operation outside my house.
could
Whatever.
you imagine? Just say I bought that. There's
Yeah,
no way that gets through customs.
it's just like this is well. The thing is the prop guy that made it. I think these are filled with either laxative or I think these are sugar. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah, but like that goes through an X-ray scanner, and there's no chance it gets through.
right. They're gonna stick the stick in there and test
I,
it and whatever.
I mean,
But I think they
I
should sell all sugar to look like a kilo of Coke.
Yeah,
put it this
that's
way.
oh,
I don't know whether any of you know the actress Eva Hamilton.
sounds
No.
familiar.
Well, she's an actress from Hollywood there, and she put up a competition that I won a while back for I don't know whether you've heard of Rotten Jellies, some
Yeah, Joe.
American brand. So I won loads of them on a giveaway in the start of June, and they arrived there the other day. But customs had opened it and destroyed the boxes that they came
Oh,
in. So I won 4 boxes
oh
of
man.
Wow.
jellies. I was like, geez, you can see they're jellies, like.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Now, and I will say it wasn't Irish customs that done it. It was U.S. customs because there was a U.S. customs sticker on it. I was
So
like,
if
did them
anybody wants to get the bricks of cocaine, just contact Doug.
yeah,
On the down low. I'm
one?
not tampering with them, man. I'm not. Dude, it was bad enough that I had to drive home with 5 fake bricks of blow and like 6 pistols that look real.
Could you imagine you
And
got
then on
pulled
top
over?
of it, the black trash bag with the severed limb hanging out of it.
Could you imagine you got pulled over?
Oh my God. My ass would be on the pavement with guns.
Let me tell you.
They would definitely put the knee in my neck. They'd be like, "We don't care. We'll get fired." But this guy's getting the knee in the neck.
That's
Whoa.
funny because you guys know Felissa Rose when she does the photo ops. You ever see what she wears with the and
Oh, the sleepaway camp thing.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about? The nude
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
at the end?
Oh yeah.
Well, that was in my trunk for like a month,
Oh,
and I'm like,
jeez.
Felissa, if I get pulled over, I can't explain this. You know what I mean? There's no way. You got to get this out of here. I can't drive.
All you have to say is it's Felissa Rose in the boot of my
Yeah.
car.
Yeah, this is her when she was a naked 12-year-old. You remember that movie? And yeah.
Yeah, I actually made
But
sure that I put my
You might
script
have
on
to
top
sign
of
that
everything.
register. Yeah, I have a naked 12-year-old in the boot of my car. Yeah, you're signing a register, sir.
Oh my
Um,
God.
So I'm gonna go from the top down in this time because the top has been quiet enough for this. Just before we finish up, Sarah, have you anything upcoming you'd like to promote?
Not at the moment. Not that I could speak on yet. But I do have an Instagram if you'd like to keep up with me. It's Sarah Sweeney _. So I post on there quite frequently.
Sure, we'll give you a follow, and
Thank
we'll,
you.
we'll keep an eye on it. Ronald, have
Perfect.
you?
I've got Grind coming up in a couple of weeks. Other than that, I've got a movie called Jacker 3 that I'm shooting for next weekend. So I'm excited about that. Other than that, the world's an opportunity right now.
Well, I mean, Grind's gonna be awesome. Mark's a beast. It's also got if I'm not mistaken, it's got Molly Sousa in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another
Yep.
former guest. She's a legend.
And Dan's going to be there, so I'm real excited about that one.
Oh, Dan's in it as well. Yeah, I forgot about that. Sorry, Dan. Well, actually, I don't even know why I'm saying I forgot because the man's just in every indie project that's ever made now.
It's the
Sounds
truth.
like it. He's worse than I am, or better,
The
however
man-
you want to take it.
The man is he's going to work himself into the grave. What about you, Dennis?
Sorry, what was your question again?
Have you got anything upcoming that you'd like to promote?
Yeah, so obviously grind, uh, which is in a couple weeks. I head back to Indianapolis to finish up Bad Apples, Stephen
Nice.
Morris. Then we're going to do a sequel with Stephen Morris for his movie He Knows. It's called She Knows, Christmas horror film.
Nice.
Then I just finished with Josh Graves. It was called Fur, but now it's called Zombear.
Time
Yeah, I
Bear.
seen that. Yeah. Um,
And I play some redneck hillbilly that wants to go fight a bear.
nice. Sounds about
Uh,
right.
and then and then I was actually trying to look at my IMDb page the other day, trying to figure out what I have coming up. The biggest one that I'm working on right now is called Oswald Down the Rabbit Hole. That's going to star Ernie Hudson.
Oh,
Uh,
nice. Ghostbusters.
I just
Great guy.
actually had a meeting with Felissa in India at a horror convention to get her involved, and then Dave Sheridan as well.
Oh,
Hmm.
nice.
My buddy Lilton, he's directing. He's an up and coming director, independent director out in Los Angeles. He has not done any horror films, but this will be his first official horror film that he wants to hopefully turn into a trilogy. We just met with one of the big production companies out in Los Angeles. They did Crash uh, and First Reform. It's not A24. I wish it was A24, but yeah. So really excited about that one.
Is there
There
a
is
poster for
teaser.
that Oswald down the rabbit
Yeah,
hole?
so there's actually a teaser pitch that you can see on YouTube. It's all animated. The people who did the animation are the people who've been working on a lot of Marvel projects
Oh, nice.
recently. So yeah, we got a great team with that one. It's just we're in the final stretch to get secure the final bits of money because it's not going to be cheap. It's a $5 million budget. Um,
Does that
yeah,
count as an indie movie?
technically, I mean it's a low budget movie still. But yeah, no, we're really excited about that one. And yeah, so I mean that's all I can really say about that one. I can't say too much about that because I am
Yeah, no,
contracted.
that's
But
okay.
yeah, you can see it on YouTube, a little teaser trailer. So
Nice, nice. I'll make sure and check it out. I seen a poster with Ernie Hudson for a new movie coming out later on in the year or starting next year. So I can't remember what it was though.
that might be it
Um,
because we did have an article in Deadline. So
yeah, I'll have to go. I'll go back through Facebook and see if I can find it.
okay.
Um, Robert, anything you have upcoming?
He's got to pull out his
Yeah,
list.
yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, as far as upcoming roles, I'm also in grind. I've got a role in another horror anthology called Six. Placid Park is something I just finished, waiting anxiously for that to come out. I'm also looking at the launch of Crimson Harvest, Xander Goldman's next film in a few weeks. I think it's going to launch. Birthday Batch from Abel Berry and Jen Stone, Killer Pizza, Side Quest. Those are upcoming films, some of which were delayed because of the things that took place last year. And along with Deadly Endings coming out, which I'm thrilled about, really looking forward to. Placid Park, as well, as I said. The Boy from Below is one, and A Hard Place with Jason Horton. The,
Jason Sound, the sequel
Yeah.
to Craven.
yeah, and I'll tell you, these last 4 or 5 movies, they may be indie horrors, but the crews that these guys have brought into these films are just fantastic. These movies don't look like C movies or Z movies. The footage I've seen just looks fantastic.
Mm.
Great,
Well,
great cinematography, camera work. The sound is excellent.
I mean,
They've
Craven,
really gone
Craving,
for it.
Craven was brilliant.
Yes, yes, it was. And
Yeah.
I was a small producer on that one. He had asked me to be in it, and I had just come back from LA, and I think my wife would have killed me if I'd have said, you know what, 2 days from now I got to go back to LA. So I reluctantly had to pass on a role because I love creature features.
Well, creature features would be my go-to. I
Me
fucking
too.
love them. Yeah,
Me
I don't
too.
care how bad they are, I'll still watch them.
Yep, me
Yeah.
too.
Actually, speaking of Craven, I was only saying to someone the other day, they asked me had I seen it, and they were asking me what did I think of it, this, that, and the other, and I says, the whole movie was fantastic, but I said it to Jason on the show, the girl Ashley under Shuffler or under Cuffler absolutely stole the show.
Undercover.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was
She's
phenomenal in it.
fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to A Hard Place now. Actually, I was only reading something that he put up there earlier on about it.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that, and I no doubt I'll probably have Jason back on when that comes out. So you're more
The,
than welcome to join in if you want.
the teaser trailer for that just dropped today on YouTube.
Oh,
Or
really?
maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, the teaser
Oh,
trailer just came out today, and it looks really cool.
I'll have to go
nice.
and check that out now before I
Yeah.
go to bed.
Yeah.
And Doug, what you got?
Oh, just like Rob. It's funny because you get involved in projects, but then you forget about them because they don't come out for a year or two.
Right.
Comes another list.
Yeah. A few months back, I wrapped on an Apple TV series, which is pretty big. It's one of like the top 5 directors of all time. I really can't even talk about it, but I was really proud to be a part of it. I just was in the season finale of The Amazing Race that just aired a month or two ago, which I forgot about because we did it 2 years ago. I saw myself and I'm like, wait a second, is that me? Oh yeah, that's right. But then I just wrapped on a movie called Blood on the Bleachers, a Chase Dudley film. We just wrapped about 2 weeks ago on that. That's
Me
going to be
too. Sorry.
Yeah. Is that you too, Rob?
Yep.
You
Sister
guys
Principal
should start
Lane.
driving together.
Oh yeah, that's
We
right.
should
You're right.
You should.
shack
Yeah,
up together
Carpool.
in a hotel.
I'm Kimberly's dad. Nice to meet
Sweet.
you. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
So that's going to be great. And I'm a producer on Grind as well. I was supposed to be in it, but I had a scheduling conflict. So I'm not going to be in it, but I'll still be a producer on it. And then a movie called Camera X that we're filming at the end of the month, which should be pretty good as well. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
The list goes on. Then
On and
obviously, Richard, you have this one upcoming, but have you
Yeah,
got anything?
I just got I can't go do anything else. I got to get this one done. No,
Yeah.
but like I am finishing out writing a script that I'm turning in, to a screenplay that was given to me by a buddy of mine who actually his wife channeled this from her dream. So it's kind of, it's got some horror aspects of it. It's kind of like a thriller drama, but there is like a big horror kind of weird scene at the very end. It takes place in the 1970s Mexico, and the title of it is The Offering. So that's what I've been working on. I'm almost done with that. Then I gotta just kind of get it copyrighted and proceed forward and promoting and meetings and all the fun stuff. While these guys get to go play different roles, I got to stay in the role that I am and get this thing done.
But then again, they don't get to go and play in the roles if everyone else decides they don't want to do your role.
Yeah.
They're too busy. I can't hire them for the next thing I'm working on. They're too busy. They got too much going on.
So is it they're too busy or you don't want to hire them? We'll talk
I
later.
would hire everybody all over again, man. Everybody, was just amazing. I mean, like I said, like Doug and I, we both got there like a day or two, right, before we started filming. So we got to hang out a lot and have lunch together. Personally, Dennis has been great, with the communication going back and forth with him. Sarah really stepped up last minute and was just on the mark, just quality there. Robert, we were limited in some discussions, but man, he kind of blew me away with his personality and everything and just professionalism on set. We sat right next to each other in between, some takes. And so we got to talk a little bit, and Ron was just like the all-star, working on the set. I mean, I kind of felt guilty. I would go, because he was there to help. And I know, like, I sent him to go get a coffee, I think once, maybe twice. and I didn't want to like. He's just so accommodating and nice that I'm like, I can't ask him for anything for another day. Like,
I'd have
because
got
I
you
just didn't
anything,
want to,
Richard.
like, I just didn't want to, like, feel like I was abusing him. So I was like, man, I can't go to the guy the rest of the day. I got to go to someone else if I need something. Cause he's just so kind, just so generous and just thoughtful on set. I mean, he really made it so easy. Everyone kind of fell in love with, Ron. But yeah, I couldn't ask for anybody better, man. I would put these guys in every movie that I do. It's just perfect team, perfect cast.
That
And
speaks volumes. Now,
I'll continue what he was saying. Is like I know I wasn't on set, but I was part of the group chats, and just seeing everyone just comment how much they enjoyed being there, how much they loved it. We missed you guys. We wish we were there. We wish this was longer. And that's like the thing I've noticed in the indie community compared to obviously your big budgets. I mean, of course, your Tom Cruises are going to love whoever they love, but it seems like everyone loves each other. And it's like I've never been on a bad set with the indie people. Everyone always comes prepared. Everyone's on their hits their marks, and it's all and they make it fun. That's the biggest thing. You got to make it fun, and the fact that you all complete a movie, you should be proud of it. It could be complete garbage, but the fact that you did this is a big achievement because it's not an easy task. A lot of people think, oh, it's easy to make a movie. It's not. I mean,
No, not at
I
all.
don't doubt it.
You're right.
I don't doubt it. Um, but folks, just before I finish up, I've got one important question for you. How many beers do you reckon you drank over the whole set?
Oof. Well, Doug
So,
and I had a couple because we got there the day before, so we knew we couldn't get in trouble on that day.
yeah.
But I think I just had like maybe I had one weird beer called like John Hooker or something like that, and I only got it because it was called John Hooker at the restaurant. And it was weird. When we went out to eat, because I went with the crew, and there was like some mixed drink that was called something with light that we pushed for and it had smoke in it, which our gaffer used, the smoke machine. So like everybody tried to get a drink that had to do,
With smoke.
kind of like with their position. It was weird that they had drinks named almost for us, like
Uh,
when we got there. That was really weird. But I think I only had a couple drinks with Doug when I got there, and then I would say maybe one or two drinks during the whole, casting. I was usually drinking some sort of like energy drink or coffee that Ron would go grab me.
Straight up monster.
Yeah.
So you were relatively relaxed then for the shoot. That's good.
yeah, busy.
Oh, and I did have a
Professional.
shot of Jim Beam, like
Yeah.
It's all right.
at the
I'll
end of the
allow
day,
that.
I think
I'll allow
twice,
that.
and it made me feel like crap the next day. And it wasn't even like a lot. I had like two shots. That was it. And then I don't know.
Now
Can't
hold
handle
on. Now
Jim Beam.
it was one shot over 2 days. Now it's two shots. Now how many
No,
actually
no,
did
no.
you
I
have?
had the one drink when we were out to eat, but I forgot that there was a bottle of Jim Beam on the counter at the Airbnb that we're staying at, and I was like, oh, I'll have this, a swig of that, And
It'd be rude not to.
I don't know. I must have been dehydrated. It was really hot when we filmed. It was like 95 degrees like every day,
Yeah.
so maybe I was dehydrated and it just hit me different. But I slept like shit that night. That's for sure.
But folks, I know it's sort of afternoon, evening time now for you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish it up the way I finish up every single Friday night. In the words of the great George A. Romero, ladies and gentlemen, stay scared.